U.S. will transfer weapons seized from Iran to Ukraine.
This post received a score of 8,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than it is not clear what legal authorities the U.S. will use to facilitate the weapons transfer. The UN requires that seized weapons be destroyed or stored. Sounds to me like they're gonna be storing them in trenches in southern and eastern Ukraine.
Hey Ukraine, we're just gonna leave all these ARCs and RPGs in these unlocked shipping containers outside Kyiv, and then turn our backs. It would be a downright shame if someone stole them while we weren't looking.
These were sent to Poland for recycling? Half shrug.
Pardon me if I missed something obvious. The article mentions finding a legal way to donate the weapons using civil forfeiture, but what makes it more difficult than just handing them over to the Ukrainian military? There seems to be a lot of emphasis on doing it legally.
The United Nations forbids selling seized weapons. Must be stored or destroyed.
What's the point of storing them if the only other thing you can do with them is destroy them?
So you can schedule the destroying until later. Like if you trip and find a gun and you seize it, you're now bogged down with destroying it then and there unless you can store it for destruction later.
Reverse Iran-Contra.
Or Contra-Iran-Contra, if you will.
This could be turned into a techno beat.
Internet, make it so.
Reminder. Ronald Reagan sold weapons to Iran in the 1980s and gave the profits to the Contra who used the funds to smuggle crack into the United States.
They were smuggling coke and at first crack hadn't taken off quite yet. Freebasing wasn't widespread knowledge and most crack being made at that time was using ether, which is highly volatile and dangerous to work with. Also, coke was still relatively expensive and wasn't easily afforded by the minority neighborhoods. At some point someone figure out you just needed throw the coke in some water and mix in some baking soda and freebasing was born, leading to affordable potent coke highs. That's when the government started prioritizing unloading their coke in minority neighborhoods, causing the crack epidemic, and paving way to the war on drugs.
Snowfall.
I am curious who spent the time to line up all those guns so perfectly for the photo op.
Hey intern, neatly arrange all these guns to take up this huge parking lot. They would use a handful of junior enlisted, E1 E3, supervised by a disgruntled sergeant. Unless they needed to get billable hours for a contractor. Then they would have the contractors mess it up and bring in the junior enlisted to redo it.
I remember one time we fucked up in basic. As punishment they had us count all the river rocks on the right side of the barracks, move them to the left side, and report the total count after. The next day, a couple other guys fucked up and had to count and relocate the river stone we just moved back to the right side. One of the guys from the first group sold them yesterday's count for like $100, so they moved the stones and reported the total in record time. The DS laughed, chucked a handful of river stones into the hallway where they were standing, presumably from his pocket, and ordered them back outside to move the stones to the left and recount them fucking accurately this time. They were out there until 4 a.m. counting rocks.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.